Hi everyone, welcome back to Angela's Craft Room. I'm just come to you today just to show you how to make this little gift box that I've made for my girls that are in my team when I attended the, when I do attend the Stamping Up on Stage event. I've made these little gift boxes for them and they are a good size box. The finished box is approximately 3 3/4 by 5 inches. I did see Poodles make these boxes and I thought they would make just fantastic gift boxes for my girls on my team. So I just wanted to show you how to make it, because as I've said previously, I've seen a lot of boxes made and they're just too small, whereas this one is just a really decent box, and you could make these for Christmas and put the little gift inside. You could even put some just chocolates in there for teachers' favours. There's just so many things you could use for this size box. So to start with, what we need is a piece of cardstock, which I've gone with Emerald Envy, one of the new in colours for 2016, and it measures 8 inches by 11 inches. Okay, so 8 inches by 11 inches. Now on the long side we are going to score, which I've already scored it just to save some time. We score it at 1.5 inches, 4 3/4 inches, 6 1/4 inches, and 9.5 inches. And then you would turn it, and then you're just going to score it at 1.5 inches, and then again at 6.5 inches, and that's it. So it's really easy. So I'll grab my scissors. Now on all of these scored lines, which you most probably can't see, it's really hard on the green, we've got one score line going across there and one score line going across there. So on each side we need to cut on each score line up to this score line that goes across here. So you just need to be quite precise when you're cutting on the score lines. So you're just cutting up to there. And it is important to have a really good sharp pair of scissors. These paper snips from Stamping Up, I just find they're so good. So I'm just turning round and I'm just going to cut up there. Now really I will miter once I've folded these. We will miter some of these edges so they come together a bit better once they're glued. Now with my boxes I will only use Terran tape because I don't want it falling apart later on. So I'll just get my bone folder, and then you can just burnish on your score lines. And once again, I always say, like, if you want a tutorial on anything, please let me know. I'm happy to do one for you. And if you live in Australia and you don't have a Stamping Up demonstrator looking after you at the moment, I'm more than happy to look after you. I would love to help you try these new products. They are absolutely very high quality. The cardstock is 216 GSM, so it is a very good thick cardstock. It's not a cheapy cardstock. But I will put the link to my blog and I have tabs across my blog, and you will be able to find my contact details there. So you can see that box, how easy that's going to be coming together. Now what I'm going to do is, I always like to put my box together like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to miter very slightly on those two. I know some people do them all at once, but sometimes you don't need to do them. So I just like to do them as I go. And then I just have a look how it's going to look when I've put the tear and tape on. So going to pop some tear and tape on there. Just grab my other paper snips because these have got a bit of glue on them, and I don't like using my really good ones that I just use for cutting ribbon. Now I normally would put 3 strips of tear and tape when I'm doing a box, but for the try not to hold you up and the tutorial go too long, I'm just going to put 2 on. It is a very strong hold, the tear and tape, so it would stay together quite well. And I just use a pair of tweezers, just pull them up, pull the end up. I just feel it just does save my nails a little bit if I was picking it up with my fingers. But so now I'm just going to fold that one up and just take your time. So it's going to line up and not have any overhang or anything on your boxes. Okay, so our next one is we're going to do these ones. So with these middle ones, I'm just going to miter. That's my good scissors. Just miter. And I mean, you can miter every side if you want to, but so we'll grab the tear and tape again and just pop 2 pieces onto the tabs. Now I'm going to show you a really easy way to make your belly band. We are going to use some designer series paper, but I don't score it. There's just a really easy way to do it. So if you were making a few of these, especially around Christmas time in Christmas colours, you could really get a few done quite quickly. Just pull them off. Then I'm just going to pull that up there so it's a bit hard to show you as well as me doing it. So I'm just bringing that piece up there, and I want it to be flush, so it's sitting nicely. I am a bit pedantic when I'm making things, that I like the finished product to look nice. So that's perfectly flushed there. Now all we need to do is fold. These two tabs here are going to be folded in like that, and then it just comes down on the box like that. So I might not even have to mitre those, I don't think. So just these two tabs here, I'm just going to pop some tear and tape on there, and yeah, after doing this box, I think, you know, 2 strips of tear and tape are most probably going to be sufficient. I most probably go a bit over the top when I make my gift ones. That I did put 3 pieces on each, but I think you really could get away with putting just the 2 pieces on. But you do get a very generous, with the tear and tape from Stampin' Up, which is this one here that I'm using, you do get a very generous 27 meters on the roll. So I mean, I'm crafting every day just about, so it lasts me quite a long time. So it is very good value to have that much on. So we just get this last one off, and what you're going to do is you're just going to fold it under this long tab, this long piece here, and just match it up so it's nice and flush. And then just the other side the same, so we're just going to pull it in, just corner it up like that, and then that's just going to sit down like that. So that's how easy that is to make that box. Now what I do here is I get my 3/4 of an inch circle punch from Stampin' Up. Or if you don't know how to open the Stampin' Up punches, if you turn them over, right, turn them over, this little grey piece here, you just simply push it and it releases it ready to use. So what I do on the front of these is I just line it up. So I'm only doing a half circle. So I try and do it as much in the middle as I can. And see there, I'm only cutting half a circle, not a whole circle. So I'll just do that. So you just get that. And when it's closed, it just gives the person, they can pop their thumb there and open it very easily, like that. Okay, so that's the box part made. Easy, wasn't it? So then we need a piece of designer series paper. This is from the Festive Birthday designer series paper, which was released in June 2016 for Stampin' Up. Now it is double-sided, but we are going to use this side. So yeah, so it's 10 inches long and 3 inches wide. Now you don't have to have those measurements, like you can have it wider or narrower, but that works for me. So what I do is I just pop it on the box, make a little bit of a crease there, and as I get to this, you know, where the fold on the box is, I just do a crease, and then I just do a crease there, and then I take it off And that's what I mean, you don't have to be scoring it and everything. I just find this easier. You don't have to take it off and then burnish it, but I just think it gives it a crisper finish. So like that, and then on this piece, and I'm just making sure that it is straight when I'm doing it, but it just makes it a lot easier. You don't have to be doing scoring when you don't need to be. It's just a very quick way of making a belly band. So just remember that mine is, for this particular box, it's 10 inches long. So I'm just going to put a strip of tear and tape. So I need just one strip across there. Snip that off. Then just pull that off with my tweezers. So just be careful you don't let that tear and tape sit down on your work surface until you've actually stuck it down. So we're just wrapping it round, making sure that's, and just make sure it's straight, because once you put this down on your tear and tape, you won't be able to lift it. So just make sure it's straight and down. Voila. So that is our belly band, and that is just so easy to do, isn't it? So that's our belly band. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a piece of the gorgeous ruched ribbon in Emerald Envy as well, and wrap that over that side. So just see how much I need. I always cut off more than I need. So just want it so it can go round and finish at the back, and I might even cut a little bit off. Now for this, I do like to use my tear and tape so that I've tried the other glues and I find the tear and tape on ribbon is the best way to go in this instance when you're just using it on boxes. So just cut that off, then I'll just trim that so it looks nice and finished. Then just pull that off. Right, so now we have to be careful. So then we're just going to put it about center. I'm not measuring anything. I'm just going to put it about in the center. And then just make sure it's going to be straight on the sides. And down on the bottom. And then just make sure it's flush on the piece you're overlapping it on there. So that is just so easy that you've done like that. Okay, so we're nearly finished. So then what I did was, using the Stampin' Up! Decorative label punch, which looks like that, I punched out a piece of, I actually used shimmery white, and I also punched out one in Emerald Envy, And then what I did with the Emerald Envy was I cut it in half. Now if you're cutting this on your Stampin' Up! Trimmer, all you have to do, I'll just bring the other piece back in, these little points there and there, when you're going to do what I'm about to do, you just have to make sure those side points are exactly in your cutting track on your trimmer, and then just carefully cut it in half, and that's all I've done there. Now before we came on, I did stamp my sentiment A Little Thanks, which comes from the One Big Meaning stamp set, which I use a lot of. It has wonderful heaps of thank you sentiments on there, and I've just used this little one up here, A Little Thanks. So I've stamped that on there, but I want to back this onto to give it a little bit of character, so it's not just white, just a little bit of greenery on there. If I was to stick that on just like that, it's gonna have little notches sticking out. So what I do is, hope you can see, I think you can, just those little notches there and there, I just simply cut them off on an angle so you can't see them when I put this on the back of the shimmery white piece. Okay, and it's just going to be like a backing on there like that. So tear and tape again. Now you just need a piece going along there. Off. And then you'll need a piece going along that piece. It's just a bit of a trick. Okay, so then I'm not going to pick it off with my fingers. I'll use my tweezers. Off like that. Now that's the bottom piece, getting it stuck to my fingers. So all I'm going to do, I hope you can see, might just zoom in so you can see what I'm doing, bring that up for you. So all I'm going to do is place that down. Now I've got it sitting up in the air. I've only got this edge down so that before it hits the tear and tape, and then I'm just going to, so you can see that it gives that lovely border around the label that we're putting onto the box. So I mean, as well, you could add flowers or do whatever you like. So the same this way. I'm just going to hold it up and make sure my points are equal. And if you look on the back, you can see the trick. We're just missing that, but that's going to be glued down, so nobody's going to see that. So we'll just zoom out a little bit and just grab some dimensionals. Okay, now tweezers. So we're just going to pop some, I normally just put 4 dimensionals on there, and I think that you'll use this box quite a lot, make a lot of these. So when I lift my dimensionals, I just point in the middle. You can do it with your nail and they just come off super easy if you do that. So that's another point for you. Very easy that way. So then we're just going to bring in our box. Just go out a little bit. Now I'll have a look which is the front, because I can't see so my slot at the front is there. So I want my little thanks to be right in the middle. Like that. And then I'm just going to, using from the In Colours enamel shapes, I'm just going to put a little heart there. So I'll just take, I love these enamel shapes. You've just got to be careful that they sometimes want to flick away from you. And then I'm just going to pop that heart right in the middle, and we're finished. That is just such an easy box to make. So I hope you will try it. Once again, this designer series paper is from the Festive Birthday set, and the finished product, so the finished box inside is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. So I hope that shows you a few tips on way you can make the box. It is a very easy box, and I can see that I'm going to be making a lot of these this Christmas. So I'd like to thank you for spending some of your time today with me in my crafting room, and until next time, happy crafting.